The Grindcore edition of Death Metal Podcast coming at you at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Twitch and other places. What's going on, everybody? Tonight, the term Grindcore has now spread much deeper than I had realized. Moving into this episode, I realized that, between what I listen to is mostly death metal. But over time, I was looking just through my record collection right before I came on here, and I noticed I have a lot of grindcore and grind-oriented 7-inch EPs. So, like, the whole, like, grindcore movement, a lot of it I remember kind of coming up through, like, 7 inches. And some records, you know what I mean? There was definitely stuff that was paving roads for grind and grindcore. But then also, there are so many definitions of grindcore, basically. Because you have your kind of political raising grindcore, like what I just played as the opener. Or then you have your V.N.A. noise grindcore. Or you have your Repulsion death metal grindcore. So you got all kinds of stuff going on. You have, like, and then newer bands, too. So you could have a band like Aborted, and they'll call them grindcore. So, like, the definition of grindcore is a little faded, like it's kind of all over the place. So tonight, though, we're gonna try to mix in a little bit of what I listen to as grindcore, a little bit of what grindcore is out there, some new and old, and obscure, and that's what I normally would do on here on Death Metal Podcast. And appreciate people that always tune in to the show, man. Like Haunted Hotel, what's up, brother? And Sherry Screams, saying what's up to everybody and the maniacs in the scene here. Never More Rules was out chucking axes today, so I know he's in a good mood. And we're going to go into some brutal shit. So again, we're going to get back to that topic of grindcore. So grindcore kind of expands over death metal. It expands over just grindcore, which maybe that was BVRT BACHARACH, which is members of AC. So, you have AC that is kind of grindcore, right? Noise. They had grindcore parts. They were influenced by grindcore bands. So this is a very broad range show. I try to make it as broad range as I could. One of the earliest or earlier grindcore things, because I'm not going to play the Kim Lee or Who Invented Grindcore, Discharge. This was kind of very fast.
Starts out with rock. To the young. Yo, the dollar grudge against something unknown. Wanna do it better. Turn out the back control. Thank you. Okay. Usual tune, Paul. Scene. It's called Flowers.
Right, so the band I just showed, Hersey, they, in a weird way, are amongst maybe innovators of a grindcore style, too. They were coming up early with alongside or before maybe Napalm Death. And, you know, their style with the blasts and then even the guitar crunch, you know, mixed with the scummy members, you know what I mean? And maybe the themes of their songs, too. So you had a mixture of a lot of things going on there. And if you notice, too, they even had some, like, melodic singing, which I think as time went on, they got a little more screamy-meamy, you know? But the blasts were mixed in with a lot of this crunchy, nasty guitar sound. There's always like one normal looking kind of dude in the band, right? Who's wearing like a friggin' what do you call it? Like a shirt with a friggin' like a little elephant on it or something. But you know, like these were like these were like simple times, and then the bands were, you know, they were playing the drums really fast. So I mean, as the evolution of the time went on, the drums and then the sounds, it got bigger and faster. And I know there was, I'm not playing this completely chronologically, but like I'm trying to bring it to perspective a little bit of what was out there and what people, kind of felt, So even this band being a death metal one was rubbing off on the Euro scene. Then you had the Euro scene rubbing off on the US. So like this would be grindcore.
Fuck you, I want to go to bed.
Run into people. They'll dance into it. What do they do when they dance?
You know how much beer I drank tonight?
Everybody lose a what?
I think I drank a beer for every person in here. This is for all the people who died on New Year's Eve. 6 feet under.
Okay.
right, there was 2 songs of Napalm. The very short one, and then this was in 1988 in Sweden. So I wonder what the Swedish fans were thinking of when they first saw something like this. You know, Napalm Death, pretty new to the scene. Earache Records, you know, not having a lot of releases out at that time. They had like Hersey, maybe, I don't know, Napalm, Electro Hippies, I think. A couple small 7 inches, you know, like maybe Old Lady Drivers coming around, which was different too. But Napalm Death definitely just out there crushing it. And you could kind of feel and see the evolution of like the Heresy versus like the Napalm, you know? There's that small little evolution. And as one of our great commenters here said, I remember a thing when Mick Harris says there was always a friendly competition with the Heresy drummer, saying they would kind of feed off each other. And you could definitely feel those vibes, dude, because, you know, there was that, you know, complete grind blast. Mick Harris definitely a character, you know, I mean, he is the quintessential, you know, bar for blasting. I feel like amongst the, you know, as time went on, obviously the blasts got different, but the original grind blast, you know, it's Mick Harris, dude. You know, he went the hardest, and then, you know, also his stage persona went the hardest too. But there was another band too, which, you know, Napalm was even a little connected with. I'm going to give you a double shot from them. They played shows with this band. I felt they went a little heavier. I found out about them around 1989-90, and then I remember hearing them additionally at Paul from Splatteria's house in 91. I finally getting like a full good recording of it was this band right here. Songs are pretty short, right? Some of the songs maybe 20 seconds, right? Like pretty short, grind blasts, complete utter chaos, super heavy vocals, you know, a guitar sound that's kind of like, I don't know, man, the grind guitar sound has a thing going on too. It's not just the drums, although it seems like they push the drum thing as grindcore more than they do the guitar sound too. Grind has been my favorite genre. Awesome topic. All right, brother. So that's why we're doing this. And then even for me to dig into like early grindcore, like 7 inches, you know, like Nobody Listens Anymore, which was a flexi disc released by Violent Noise, and it had Fear of God, Psycho Sin, Filthy Christians, Sound Pollution. And this flexi disc is very funny because this was a Mexican flexi disc. And when you play this thing, it just rolled right across the entire 7. It rolled right across your turntable. So I never even heard what this technically sounds like because the grooves are so thin in it. I looked for it for years, got it, put it on my record player, and it just slid right across the player no matter how many times and I have a decent player, so I put weight on it, I did everything, you know? So what's up, Alexis? So, you know, there was other EPs and records, and there was, let me see, this record here was another Fear of God release. I think they put this out later, but this was like an earlier, like, you know, Pneumatic Slaughter EP. There was, the earlier thing we opened up with was the Agathocles live from Aalst, Belgium, 89, which was definitely kind of, you know, like right in line. When you heard Napalm Death, you were next in line was this band, you know? They were like the next Napalm Death in a weird way. So I think we should give another shout to them and their live show. Want to keep these short. I want to keep some of these blasts short. So occasionally I might play like 3 or 4 songs if the songs are like 20 seconds each. But then if they're not, you know, I'm going to try to keep this as a real grindcore thing, man. Just So, you know, just going back to that Fear of God, this was the original old school 7-inch of that on I forget what label this is on. Temple of Love Records, which was Eric from Fear of God's record label. So this is original as far as I know. A clear vinyl. Sick. This guy put out the original 7-inch of Morbid Angel too. So like back in the day. This was something I got back from when I first bought my copy of Enslavement to Obliteration. It came with this Napalm Death 7-inch too, which was, it came with the, what would be considered, some of the shortest songs ever. So, me buying this thinking like, oh, I'm going to get this extra record and all this shit, right? The thing is like fucking a minute long, 2 minutes long, dude, but good record, obviously Musclehead, The Curse, Morbid Deceiver. And like grindcore is a 7-inch sport, man. So, there was other stuff, another Fear of God here, another version of it, actually, I should say. I believe this was a second pressing of some sortage. Really a big Fear of God fan, Whoa. If this is gore, what is meat then? This is the split with RiekBoois, which is one of the earlier Agathocles releases. And also, we have a guest in the chat who has every Agathocles 7-inch there is. Haunted Hotel Records said that he has collected every single Agathocles split. Maybe I don't know if he collected every record or every split 7-inch or every record, but his collection is probably one of the biggest ever, basically. So you have him, and he said on the live cast, him and the guy from Discharge were probably like the biggest Agathocles collectors. And I had looked today on Discogs just for the fuck of it, and I saw that they had 266 split 7-inches. And then that song that you heard too had it came out on various releases. Like it would come out on this, which would be like live at Aalst, Belgium, but then it would be like a split with like a band like God Stomper or something, which was like a kind of like there's all kinds of like stickers and grindcore memorabilia falling out of there. So you'd love to look through those? Cool, man. Yeah, I would like to look through Haunted Hotel stuff too. I'm going to have to travel down to Yonkers and just look through your records, brother, Salute to you, Ralphie. I appreciate you too, man. When you told me you had every Agathocles 7-inch, that was kind of a mind fuck for me. So it's like, that's a lot of records, dude, I mean, I don't know if you have every release, but you've seen it like you did. So I think they were important for the grindcore movement because they stepped one iota lower than your more commercial stuff that got commercial later. So like, like a Napalm Death, that even though they were still a grindcore in like 90 and 91, they were kind of little bit getting a little commercial, having videos, all this, where you had Agathocles. Fear of God had broken up by then, but you had like an Agathocles, which was like underground, man. Underground grindcore. Just pure energy and aggression, putting out records that were not mass-produced, small labels, split 7-inches, just small presses. And then that made them, in a way, one kind of the kings, dude, and amongst the kings. There are many kings amongst these bands, but I would definitely put them right up there with Napalm Death, in a way. This was another band too. They were from Croatia. So with those songs in between the tick 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 tick. So you know what? There was a band that that was Patareni, who had a split with Buka, which I believe were same members in both bands, and then they also had a split 7-inch with they had a split 7-inch with Ada, which was like a noise side project band of Fear of God, which was a really crazy 7-inch. I think this band right here was they're a noise band, but they had so many grindcore elements too as their career progressed. Maniacs of the Scene, which is good friends too. Anal Cunt. So this was the split 7-inch with 7 minutes of Nausea, which the 7 minutes of Nausea side too is something to be reckoned with. Because basically that is complete noise, 1 second, 2 seconds, 7 songs with and then AC coming with grindcore stuff, but also with complete apocalyptic noise stuff, So old school original TNT release record, So this was a big record for me. I believe John McEntee had taped me it originally, before we did the AC tour, or like a year or two before that, and I was definitely entranced by that particular EP, So definitely have a lot of AC 7-inches. This was a repress on Fudgeworthy, but the 88 song EP, man. I mean, AC. You even have Noise in Shit Scum, which was AC. And, as time went on, you got these wonderful things like this, the Morbid Florist, which I think in this zone is kind of where they kind of went a little, noise, but just like started to throw a grindcore riff or two in there, So that's definitely some good stuff. The 88 song EP is fucking great. Hell yeah, man. All the AC stuff is great, dude. Let's be honest, Mandatory is the AC 7 minutes of Nausea. For me, it is still my favorite 7-inch. There was I'll show this on here. Now I don't know where I'm gonna land on it, but this will be a exclusive for here. Eventually, I'll show the whole thing, and will be in audio form. I did an interview with Tim from AC, and I asked some of the most bizarre AC questions. So I don't know where we're gonna land on this. But check it out, Unreleased. Tim Morse is mastering the art of StreamYard as we speak.
He just immediately, he's like, of course, he has to yell out that he wanted to yell out the introduction. I'm trying to think about it. So you can hear his exasperated New England accent. Mike, man, guitar, Tim Morse drums. It's like, fuck it, let's go. I'm like,
let's go. So that was not recorded live, obviously. That was recorded in the studio as a live in the studio.
Well, I would say in the rehearsal space. It was, I mean, you could say it was live.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was one microphone, it wasn't anything that was, that's pretty much.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. Yeah. I just I was going into my collection a little, and that was popping out. I was like, I wonder what this
do you have that on CD, or do you have?
I have a Wicked Sick CD right here.
Oh yeah. I like that.
And it says Wicked Sick, so I know what that is. That's
Wicked
Seth's
Sick
label.
Records. That was Wicked Sick Records.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had an autograph one, because we did a bunch.
Autographed.
Yeah, we did. No, we did. We did I think we did like, I don't know how many of those we actually did, and we signed them, in just the juvenile AC way, where it was like, like if you bought this CD, you got ripped off, or we fucking hate you.
I really don't. I don't know how I got this. I think I got this from Seth. Okay, and
Probably.
I think I got it at his car in New York City, and he gave me this. This, I don't know. There was 2 different times we went to the car. So there was, I think I got this from the car though. But he gave me a record too from oh man, I can't remember. It had a white cover, which most of them do.
Yeah.
Most of those like Seth records with the white covers, and it said it had a big kind of upside down cross on it. It wasn't Frostbitten Moon Forest, but it was.
Was it Kill Slug?
It might have been Kill Slug, maybe. And it just says someone else's name. It says it says someone else's name. So I got someone else's record, basically.
Yeah,
it's Peter Newber. I think it was. It's like, this is Peter Newber's.
I don't even know.
Like, cool.
I don't even know who.
Sorry, Peter. Guess you didn't get it.
That's what it said. Okay.
Yeah, that's what the cover said.
Oh, okay.
It said to Peter Newber or something like that. I was like, okay, cool. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate that.
Here, take
customized
it.
just for me.
Somebody else, but take it. That's okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. That's funny. That is really funny.
There was another time when Seth handed me a tape, which I'm not even sure what this is either. It was just a yellow ass Memorex from back in the day.
Oh God.
With the yellow, remember, like it would be yellow on the outside, like old covers.
Yeah,
it would be like, and then it just says AC Demo 91.
Oh,
I'm not.
I know what that was. Probably that was. Yeah, that was stuff we did with Fred. That was the 4-track stuff we did with Fred. Now, I don't know if it was actually everything we did, which was the split with the Meat Shits and the split with Psycho. And we also did that stuff for SOA. I forget that label, SOA.
For a compilation, right?
Yeah, for a comp. We did that all with Fred. That was 91, yeah. I love that stuff. I wish we did more stuff like that with Fred. That was really the only really proper recording we did with Fred. Closing my eyes because I'm trying to remember because I'm fucking old. Fred was on Everyone Should Be Killed. He was on the grind stuff. He wasn't on I don't think he played on the proper actual songs. He played on all the noise stuff. I believe he never did. No, he played on all the. I don't know what he played on. He did play.
I don't know what he played on either, because the other day when we were having the big ass Phlegm chat.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, Tim. I was like, Fred, yeah, you played on Morbid Florist. And then he's like, I didn't play on that. I'm like, really?
No, he
I was like, all these years, I always thought. And meanwhile, you know what? There could be a photo on the back of another member, but
no, John Kozik played on that album.
My mind puts Fred on the recording because I was around you guys and that's what I saw him playing. So I don't even know if I just disregarded that. No, there's an interesting little. It makes sense because Mike was in the band, and Mike left, and then Fred joined, but Fred was not really in the band that long. He was in the band, and then he kind of wasn't. He kind of evaporated, and then we got John Kozik in, and then there was Fred as well, but Fred wasn't always around for some. I don't really remember why. He just kind of wasn't there, But then when we did Morbid Florist, John was there. John did some of he did some of the guitar recording, but he actually during the recording of that, he got horribly sick. He got kidney stones of all things. And he was he was fighting to play, but he had to actually go to the emergency room. And he was laid up. He was in bad shape. But so Seth and I did a majority of that record, and John was on it. I don't know how much of it he was on. He was on it though. Seth, was he so much on his deathbed? Is that why you put an Undertaker on the cover?
No, that's actually that's Pete Shelley from the Buzzcocks.
Pete Shelley from the Buzzcocks. You guys have heard it before on there on JOABA. So that was Pete Shelley's. But I don't know if you guys caught some of those other stories. This interview series I did with Tim is probably about 7 hours of stuff. And I did not even make it to past the first record. So, you know, I really kind of sub-examined a lot of stuff that I didn't know about, you know? The recording sessions of the 7 minutes of Nausea, or, you know, maybe up to the Morbid Florist era. But, YOLO TDKs. It's all about max cells and TDKs, exactly. But shout out to Tim, and rest in peace to Seth, and shout out to Fred, and then we played Burt Bacharach already. There was obviously this awesome piece of history.
Thanks. Fuck you, all Berkeley PhD. Fucking get the fuck up. Don't let Tim scare you, he's gonna get sick. Listen to too much dayside lately. I like to feel like a whole bunch of riot girls.
So, Rotting Christ was not beyond doing a split 7-inch with a grind band at the time, who were very noisy but also had slow dirge parts like other grind bands of the time. Now, stepping back into, speaking about Rotting Christ, who obviously, as time went on, became less of a noise band or doing splits with noise bands into being like a black death metal band. There was another band that took a high regard to the blast beat, and this is it. Terrorizer. So they, obviously had a very grinding style mixed with their death metal stuff, coming from like a very raw guitar sounds mixed with, the same thing that the Hersey had, except without that melodic singing part. So, and the Napalm. So, Terrorizer, Napalm, Master, It's a guitar a little bit in there, some Repulsion. All these guys definitely like worship Master and Repulsion. So they kind of pulled their elements, They pulled a little bit of a Master guitar sound mixed with some drum beat of the Repulsion, So definitely legendary, like chat says. I want to, try to cover a little of everything here because I feel like the term after starting to research for this a little harder and just go through music I normally would listen to as my grindcore bands. I realized I was like, damn, man, this is a kind of a deep subject matter to call something grindcore. Can kind of span the horizon of like anything from like worm rot to like, I don't know, like a noisy AC type thing, So it was kind of weird too, and that's a big difference in styles, even, So when we had that green cover a few back, that was a Extreme Smoke 57, if anyone was interested, and no one gave a fuck. So obviously, next up we have something else. This was from Mexico, 89. All kinds of styles of 89 from Mexico. So that was Putrid Scum with pretty rare. I saw on the demo cover it had the demo's called Miscarry from 89. There was another band from 89, and again I stayed with this guy in his house with his family, and he played his drums right in his room at the loudest fucking possible. So there we had Splatteria, and as you see, most of you blew your speakers out on that one. Fuck yeah. What's up, Megan? So yeah, I've been in and around and played early Carcass like Genital Grinder. Holy shit. Hold on a second. I got my own stream playing in the background. There we go. Yeah, Nausea LA rule. And as this Carl Codger was saying, it bugs me that Oscar seems to get ignored. He taught Jesse to play guitar and still does Nausea, which didn't rely on blasts anymore, but their last album rules. Yeah, and I mean, they had a big Nausea fucking Terrorizer. They had a split demo. And they even shared some of their songs. So, I mean, definitely cool, you know? Like, Nausea LA is amazing. So yeah, I'm glad that I want to blow your speakers and eardrums if possible with this show, because this is the grindcore edition, man. I wanted to go hard as fuck, dude. Like, you know, I'm not here to, you know, I don't know. I just want to go hard on this demo, this just
the most unusual ever filmed, contains scenes which under no circumstances should be viewed by anyone with a heart condition or anyone who is easily upset. We urgently recommend that if you are such a person or the parent of a young or impressionable child now in attendance, that you and the child leave the auditorium.
Killer Corpse Stench from Outer Space or whatever. Stench, what is it? Hold on a second. Stench of Corpse, that's it. Killer Corpse from Outer Space 7-inch. So that was also released with Psychomania Records, who put out a bunch of AC 7-inches and stuff. Killer band. I think there's a cover there of Infest or some other band too. So, like I said, I want to go as hard as shit as this, because this is the grind that I would consider grindcore in a weird way. You know, to a point. There was bands that came later too that are, I think they're good. You know, I don't, I think, you know, they represent grindcore too. So I wanted to add some of those to the mix too. Occasionally you might see one of those in here too. Here's a really tight band. I thought hearing this at the time was kind of a revolutionary move by the record. Okay, so the one side of the record had like 9 songs on it or something, but then the other side of the record had like 100 songs on it, and the songs were like a big long grindcore noise collage. And this was a very catchy and sick release. I think not enough people really talk about it, but it was definitely an important release to me.
Henry, the intrigue is starting. Kill it.
Shit up here. Fucking pretty cool.
Uh-oh, thanks to Roy.
Thanks to Chris for putting this whole thing on. Thanks. Yeah, turn up over there.
You're gonna have to turn around so I can get
This
you
is a new one.
of you.
Let's be on the split with Manus Bastard on Slap Am.
So SOB Napalm Death split 7-inch, which another classic, I believe was the first Rise Above release. So obviously after that Rise Above release, Lee Dorian, he took a different direction, man, and he went into the Doom Zone, you know, where he started putting out Electric Wizard records and stuff, which I think is killer, man. The SOB stuff was really killer too, and they were, you know, Japanese band, obviously very, you know, played off and were similar to Napalm Death. They came and played, I believe, in England back in that time period, you know, like 89, 90. So they, you know, it was cool that the bands were getting around, and this being that this was such a like obscure like scene where like the bands are so fast and like playing shows in Sweden with Napalm Death in 88, late 88, you know, it was just completely ridiculous to think that there was fans out there of like this type of stuff, you know. So the band I played earlier was from Poland, actually. They're called Schizomopathic, and it's the Karka Mabra demo. So this band is, here's another band that was a grindcore classic. They got multiple last releases out, always sick, a little later down the line, but we could play it now.
Tell your God to convert me to the faith of the indifferent. The faith of those who will never listen until they are shaken with blows.
Malignant Tumor. That was from the split tape with Squash Bowels, and as mentioned, they did a Dead Infection cover to start the tape off. So that was from like '95 or something. He likes Malignant Terror a little better. It's funny because you mentioned this documentary today, Death Metal Podcast. I watched the Hard and Heavy Grindcore VHS 91 the other day. Apparently everything is Grindcore, and I know exactly which video you're talking about because it's the earache one, and it has like Morbid Angel and Nocturnus and all this stuff in it, and it's like, dude, Nocturnus is not Grindcore, man. They're not even close, dude, you know? I mean, they had blast beats in Morbid Angel, but I wouldn't consider them a friggin' Grindcore band. What was the name of a California band that heavily influenced Cryptic Slaughter? I forgot. They seem to have their songs. So does anybody know maybe in the chat that could bring that? I did wear my Repulsion shirt until it fell apart years ago. That's cool. I saw Repulsion play in 1990 at the Day of Death, which was a treat because I don't think they were originally scheduled to play, and then they ended up being like almost like one of the headliners, you know, and they had the classic Horrified type lineup, and they were amazing. It was cool to see them that early in their time frame, Repulsion. Definitely for me, it was super exciting because I had just got into Horrified at that stage too. So when you see a band when they're like brand new and you're really into them, that's like probably the best time. Most of the grinds I listen to are pretty metal. True, that's what I'm saying. Like I notice a lot of the grind, like the grindcore like term, like spreads across a lot of like metal bands too. Because like say like a Napalm Death record of like Harmony Corruption, there's grindcore on there, you know. It's or Nausea, who, you know, yeah, Nausea a little more like crossed out, straight up, you know. So I mean, obviously, this taste of this grindcore podcast, death metal podcast, you know, I'm a little skewed because I like a lot of really scummy stuff, you know. I like the dirtiest, heaviest, noisiest grind. So if you know, I don't want to misrepresent grindcore as a whole, but this was grindcore to me.
Okay, that was really quick because that was the Neos with conscripts. And before that, we had Neanderthal with fighting music, fitting. And so here we have it. We're going straight into it. Take it away. Ready?
Okay, yourself.
Okay, take it away, Infest.
Let's go!
Okay, even though Infest being considered in the chat as a power violence band, they are a power violence band. But as you listen to it as a grindcore band, obviously, you know, Infest definitely was a pretty sick band. I like the whole movement they had in Cali, where they had Chris Dodge and Slap a Ham, where they had all these really fast bands, you know, like The Crossed Out or Man is a Bastard. It was kind of cool that there was an entire scene dedicated towards that. You had like Florida with Ass Suck at some point, and then you had New York. Yeah, somebody said New York City Mayhem, so they were definitely noisy, kind of a grindcore band, hitting the first grindcore drum beats. What's up, Bean? After reading the Wikipedia power violence, I really don't get what it is. Interesting. Seige was like that too, more core sounding, or for an early grind. Well, that's what I wanted to bring to this. Like, this is a grindcore show, but at the same time, a Seige, like we played earlier, or an Infest, they're kind of like grindcore, you know? And so are some death metal bands like Terrorizer. Or, you know, like there's bands that have parts that are grindcore, you know? They're not, but some, you know, for me, I was more focused with the noise. I like low tune, noisy grindcore stuff. Francisco definitely hit the nail on the head, saying grindcore equals lucid fairy tale. It's a Napalm Death song. I mean, that's kind of on point, dude. When Infest started, power violence wasn't a word, exactly. That shit was made up in the mid-90s by California nerds. And I will back that, basically, because that was not even a word, dude. Did you care about Prophecy of Doom at all? Definitely, man. They were cool, too, you know? Prophecy of Doom, Deviated Instinct. Even though these bands weren't complete, like, it's kind of cool how like a lot of these like doom kind of scuzzy bands fit in with the really fast bands. So like your Dystopias and your Prophecy of Doom, Deviated Instinct, Corrupted. It seems like weird how you had that dichotomy of like these really slow bands or like dirgy, like I Hate God 13 bands, and then they would mix them up with like Crossed Out or like Man is a Bastard or Cattle Press or something, you know, like just a mix between like the two moods back and forth, you know. It must have been a little unnerving. I like the noisier stuff too, definitely, man. I've been playing quite a few noisy jams on here, I think. I mean, I try to stay into the noisiest zone.
De laatste nummer, Consuming.
Tuur, Erwin en nog iemand.
Hey, dat de hele crew
Consuming.
van maar naar
Kom
boven
mee
komt.
zingen.
Kom
Wie
allemaal
kan
naar
Consuming?
boven.
Ja. Our last song is again Consuming and door een pas.
Hey.
Hi.
Bert.
Excuse me,
Oh,
can
yeah.
we play one more song? It's only 1
Erwin.
minute long.
Vul er op.
Hey Jan.
Nee, ik zit niet meer. The next song is about a subject to think. Normally eating meat. Everyone has tried to realize that meat is only fucking murder. So, next song is called Consuming and Don't Pass. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Flemish block. So that was Acoustic Grinder from Belgium. I think they maybe shared a member from Agathocles back then. Agathocles. Excuse me. if anyone was interested and asked this question in the chat, I saw it would be a Japanese show. Has it been only a Japanese episode? Would be super interesting. I think my man right here might have done a straight up Japanese hardcore grindcore show. So check out and subscribe to JOABA. Big Vitus. He has a lot of good shows that are similar to this because we're all boys and then we all listen to crappy music together, like Minch 7 Inches and Grinding Madness compilations from the Czech Republic, with bands like Rot and Groin Churn and Bizarre Lepros, So I mean, I like this was a sick one, a good label too. I mean, like I said, I wanted to say, just going through this show, 7 Inches are grindcore, man. 7 Inches, dude. 7 Inches are grindcore, dude, as hell, man. Because there were so many records that are like 7-inch related. Like even say this, this I didn't play. I'm not playing, but like MCR Company, who did a Society Death Slaughter record. And then this was like a pretty good label, man. MCR Company. They had a lot of good grind and Japanese grindcore stuff. See, I wouldn't say that I would be the man to do that episode because basically I am a Japanese grindcore fan. But, I took more the gamut of like this kind of Japanese grindcore, in my opinion. Something like Pharmacist, who were more like in a carcassy zone, or bands that like were going to be on Necroharmonic at some point, like this band, Catasexual Urge Man. So we can agree that also is a grindcore song and has grindcore parts, right? Because that drum machine clicking as fast as it had a Mortician vibe, but it was not a Mortician vibe. It was like a Japanese Mortician vibe. Obviously, they didn't show the full cover on that, so I think I could probably show you guys kind of quickly on here, like it was a little cheesier, like had some violations on there, and then they had the Squash Bowel side of things. So this is the original record from that, Catasexual Urge Motivation, Squash Bowels. Pretty sick record. Good stuff. Good label, cool dudes. Catasexual Urge Motivation as people were completely cool people. They wrote Tamoki from Catasexual Urge Motivation wrote an amazing fanzine called Corporal Arts, and also his brother did a band too called Sadistic Lingham Cult, which we played like a couple episodes ago. They did a split tape on Necroharmonic with a band called Goropsy from the UK years ago, and I thought they deserved to be in this because them, Sloth, I would even put Pig Destroyer in this pocket because even though I don't listen to them, they were grinding, they were a grindcore band. So definitely try to different pockets of grindcore too here. I wanted to start it off where it was like more of like a old school kind of, I teach you how to go that way, but obviously there's a little of everything. There's short songs too. So, like Excruciating Terror, they had done that split 7-inch with, the, what do you call it? The Bleard compilation, which just was like an awesome compilation. It had like maybe like 68 bands or something. No, 73 bands and 84 songs with one record. So, these had grindcore songs on them. So, do not sleep if you ever see this out in the wild, or because that's another thing too about grindcore records. If you see things out in the wild, like, people do not care about these things, man. They are like probably the most kind of pushed along the way record there is, a grinding noise 7-inch. According to one poser metal site, Pig Destroyer Drum Machine is the best drummer in metal. In retrospect, I think they might have been trolling. But so, the Pig Destroyer stuff was grindcore, though, I think. Was I listening to it? No, I was not, but I think Real Poor Roy had that 7-inch. Yeah, that was a good comp. They did a volume 1 and 2. A lot of good bands on there. There was this demo, which was kind of a grindcore headfuck. Right, that was Regurgitate's first demo from '91. I felt like we could play all 11 songs, which was basically the entire demo. If I'm not mistaken, in the early days of Regurgitate, possibly they were also jamming with the drummer from Crematory. And later in time, the guitar player from Crematory, Urban, joined Regurgitate to play on many of their Relapse records and a lot of good stuff. And he was also in Nausea, and Crematory, obviously from Sweden, and Crucifier, and a General Surgery as well. And then the drummer who played in General Surgery was also in Crematory. So yeah, they definitely had a very cool scene and good bands. What's up, Vacuum Steps? They obviously played grindcore right next to their death metal. I think Dope from Mashitazo deserves mention as a great blaster, definitely, dude. Sounds perfectly live, no wimpy jazz blasts, so you could hear that snare. That's what's up, man. I think he does deserve, maybe we missed him out on this live episode. I didn't download a video from him, but he definitely deserves a shout out in this. Shout out to Dopey, man. So what else do we got here? This would be Japanese for your party. I just realized when we were playing this, the music was so fast, I wanted to get up and start, like, cleaning my room or something, you know? Like, this is good music to, like, kind of move about your house, right? Like, when you want to, like, hypothetically, you're in a rush, you know? Try to, you know, like, you're like, hey, I gotta get out the door, man. I better get my keys, my wallet, my jacket. I better start the car. Like, get everything together, man, you know? Like, I mean, this was, grindcore is like a motivational music. Grindcore, man. Like, there's a lot of feel there. I mean, even the little more muted in the tones, but you know what, too? Beyond Grindcore, which I was thinking about this, moving into this little foray into talking about grind. You know, there's a whole scene that's a Goregrind, you know? And some of the bands from this scene, like, were completely brutal, dude. Like Cock and Ball Torture, you know, and Libido Airbag was kind of grindcore, dude, you know? Squash Bowels. This was a split 7-inch with Cock and Ball Torture, you know? And these bands were very, like, close to each other. And even something as modern as this, in a weird way, is grindcore. Fluids. So, I mean, you know, they have parts that are like Mortician-style grinds, you know? So, I mean, they're not, you know, they're not Hellchild, they're not Heresy, but they are, you know, they could probably fall in the same pocket as, like, other grindcore bands, right? It's a pretty unique title that can be spread across, like 55 genre, which I thought was interesting. Just as time, you know, when like I said, going into this show, it was just like, wow, like grindcore goes a lot of different directions. right. I know that was the break. I know that was the break right there because I heard it go to another song. So I wanted to cut it right there. Pretty Little Flowers, PLF, Texas. They're grind as hell, man. And I think this guy read my mind right here. He said, thank you for the stream. So I don't want to do 1,000-year stream on this. I just want to go through some bands. Like, if I wanted to do a real grindcore stream, I probably would have did 60 songs in 60 minutes, you know? But there was also this type of stuff, too, which is pretty sick. And I consider it, in the grindcore zone, but obviously it was his own grind. And yeah, you can't sleep on Bizarre Leprous and their releases. Catasexual Urge Motivation, CSSO, Malignant Tumor, Negligent Collateral Collapse. Amazing bands. Hungry Urinary Urn. Shout out to Roman from Bizarre Leprous, man. You did put out a lot of killer stuff, a lot of good grind. AC, another EP. Old school, man. TNT Records, actually, which is an old AC record. 60 songs in 60 seconds. Yeah, it would be hard to actually do that, but yeah, we're gonna wind down the stream now. You gotta, there's so many different things I could play or try to look for, you know what I mean? But this is grindcore right here, Splatteria, their cover was amazing. They had like pictures of Carcass with like dollar signs on them and stuff. So how did they know that far ahead that death metal and a lot of stuff would become monetized and music? And so I don't want to leave out, being that this is a grindcore episode, I don't want to leave out any newer bands. So I figured let me play a couple new things and then we're out of here. This is not that new, but we're going to get newer and newer as we go on.
You already examined him?
Yeah, I made 1 or 2 notes. In my opinion, the death of the poor bastard was caused by massive hemorrhage.
From Japan. Thank you for today coming. Today is special set.
you guys get the point. Definitely grinding out, right? I feel that stuff big time, man. Yeah, we can't leave out this band either.
Thank you.
So that was Wormrot. Yeah, I see a lot of their name floating around the underground. I mean, in a weird way, I don't see any formula change between them and many other grindcore bands. But, you know, the drummer was pretty intense. Pretty much an ENT on wheels with Japanese members, so pretty sick, though. I mean, you know, like, the live performance was definitely tight. I was feeling the Star Sette Seppe or whatever. They're really tight, like, fast. I've been playing this, I played this band 3 times in a row, but I have to give them their props. This was a grindcore band from Japan, from Brazil, all female, 1995. I've been getting into the 7-inch for some reason, just the rip I have of it. And I remember when this came out, I didn't cop it. Now I'm like, damn, I want this. So one of the members married the guy from Rot or something. Feeling that simple style, man. Drum beat. It's the snare. I think it's in my head, you know. So sometimes when bands gonna get there, you know, they put you in that zone, dude. Especially when you just hear just a specific snare sound. Like Zeisma had it. That band has it for some reason for me. So we're gonna, like I said, we keep moving into the future, because we're gonna end the show soon. All blasts all the time, man. You know. Who did we not do? And we're out of here in a minute or two.
We're gonna have to kill them. And getting us out of here alive.
Alright, so I want to thank everybody that did show up for our Grindcore extravaganza. Warhammer 666, Justin, Kajukair, Human Buffet, Vacuous Depths, Justin Wild, Nevermore. All you guys, appreciate you coming. Joker, Richard Santos, Luigi, Benji, everybody, dude. Appreciate you guys being here for the Grindcore Slamination. So let's see what else. Casket Mush. I don't know if that could have been a better ending, but thank you for tuning into our grindcore death metal podcast. So the views expressed by Roy Fox, the grindcore player or whatever the show is, live streamer, do not necessarily express to your views, because if you like different grindcore, that's what you like. I mean, if you consider some modern death metal bands to be your grindcore bands, and that's what you like, man. So I appreciate you too. I didn't play much of that type of stuff on here. I stick to pretty much what I listen to. That's also why we don't take requests and stuff, because I do not want to play a lot of the stuff that you guys put in the chat. There was cool stuff I saw that I did see, but basically I was just I'm in a constant charge, so it was all AC, Ulcerous, Phlegm, Fear of God, and the story, man. So this is the end of Death Metal Podcast. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see if I can find one more short song to get the fuck out of here. And then I don't know if as usual, we don't know what we're doing for our next episode, so just be on the lookout. I talked to numerous cats, cool people of the underground, and we'll see who comes on and does a little interview with us. One more for your speakers.